Hello everyone, welcome to a new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Thanks to a Eurogamer article, we got some more news on what we can expect and what we shouldn't expect from the new game. They interviewed some of the developers and they gave some answers to questions that the fans have been asking on Twitter, on Reddit and other social medias as well. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. So, starting up with single player, we got some more news on what we should expect from the campaign and some confirmations as well about how it's gonna play like. So, the interviewer asks in the first question, how linear will the campaign be? Will it be something like Battlefield 1 War Stories, or is it a full linear story with beginning, a middle, and end? At which the developers respond with, without getting into much detail, we can say that we take cues from how the Star Wars storytelling works, thanks to Lucasfilm, and that the story, while obviously focusing mainly on the protagonist Iden Versio, will also give you the chance to play as troopers, pilots, and even, like I said before in the other video, Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren. So it will still be similar to the Battlefield War Stories in the sense that you will be able to play as different characters and experience different sides of the story, but it will still mainly focus on Iden Versio and her story from the beginning to the end. Later on, the interviewer asks, one thing I noticed about the trailer is that a version of the Emperor features in it, which is strange considering it's set after his death, and which Steve's responds to with, that's actually a direct lift and a direct reference from the comic book Shattered Empire, which does take place after the destruction of the Death Star. That character is called the Messenger, and he's a sentinel droid like I speculated last time, and, a contingency of the Emperor's that he leaves in the wake of his death to still give orders to the very upper echelon members that are left from the Empire. So that's one of the great examples of how we're connecting this and threading it throughout the existing storytelling that we've been doing to help lay the groundwork for what's happened between these two periods of time. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the droid buddy that Hydina has on her back, and that the interviewer asks, will it be used for hacking, combat, or stealth, or a variety of those things? And they say that without being too specific, you will be able to have a much greater range, reach, and versatility with him helping you. So it will fit different play styles. And what I imagine is that if you decide to upgrade him completely, you might be able to complete the campaign just with him. Of course, that's just something I have in mind, but it will definitely be interesting to see. So now we're gonna talk about something that I think a lot of you people are gonna be disappointed about, but it has to be said, of course. In the interview, the interviewer asks, one of the biggest fan requests from Battlefront 2 is the return of Galactic Conquest mode. Have you thought about bringing that back? Will it be in? If not, why not? And the developers unfortunately say that the thing about the Battlefield fanbase is that there are a lot of requests for lots and lots of different things, and that will be one that we leave for another day. So, and another guy says, no, there is a lot of voices asking for lots of different things. Which, when I read that, it was basically like confirmed for me, but I also found additional information that would shows that it's probably not gonna be in the game, and I'll show you right now. As you can see in this image, Angry Joe Show, a big YouTuber and fan of the Battlefield franchise, says any word on Galactic Conquest mode, that will be the cherry on the top. Matt Everett, the developer, says we're currently not confirming any other details, which is okay, well that's okay. But then another tweet from another DICE employee says, I don't think we'll go that far into our other franchise, but there's certainly things to learn from both. So I will say there is a 90% chance that it's not gonna be in the game, at least at launch. They could introduce it later. I'm not sure though. The thing is, it just, for me, it doesn't really make much sense because the latest Battlefield 1, has a mode called Operations, which is a copy, well not a copy, but inspired by Galactic Conquest, I think, because you have different maps where you fight on, and the objective is for the attackers to conquer all objectives until the last map. Those maps are all connected to each other. So you fight the British against the Germans, you fight the Italians against the Austrians. So it all makes sense, kind of like Galactic Conquest. And I wouldn't think it would be that hard to put in this game since Battlefield 1 did it. But this is a different game and I'm no developer, so I have no say in this, I think. But it still is very sad news. Just briefly adding that little part which you might have seen in the image, the interviewer also asks if the story is 100% canon with the films, and they say that yes, it is, so no doubts about that. Another interesting part of the interview, in my opinion, is this, where the interviewer asks, you mentioned that all eras would be coming to multiplayer. What I didn't hear mention of was Rogue One or Star Wars Rebels. Will those feature in any way? And the developer says we are covering prequel trilogies, original trilogy, and new trilogy. So those will be the locations I will have some fun in. Which it's weird because Battlefront 1 had a Scarif DLC. No Star Wars Rebels, but Scarif was there. They had heroes, they have everything. Now I know this is not a copy and paste, it's a completely different game, so I understand why it might not be possible, but it's still a bit disappointing in my opinion, but nonetheless. And they say, will we get to see Jar Jar Binks? Will he be a hero or maybe a villain? And of course they laugh and say only time will tell. Yes, there is a great answer, thank you. um, well, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Another important part of the article is this. You did mention there will be a resource system that will allow you to return into vehicles. Does that mean there will be no seamless ground to vehicle transitions in the game? Matt says no, there will be, but I was referring to particular types of vehicles. And the interviewer continues, so I'm presuming that you mean smaller things like tauntauns on Hoth or speeder bikes on Ender. Matt says yes, along those sort of lines. But other vehicles will be different, he says. So what I get from that is space vehicles like TIE Fighters, X-Wings, or even the big tanks from the Clone Wars, for example, will not be seamless, so there will be no seamless transitions. You can't opt in and opt out in the game, but with relatively smaller vehicles or creatures, like the Tauntauns, you will be able to find them in the map, opt in and opt out, which is, I guess that's it, that's something. Continuing on with the interview, the interviewer also asks, I noticed in the concept art they showed Jango Fett chasing Obi-Wan over Camino. Are those? To which Matt answers, yes, those are Hero Starfighters. So Obi-Wan and Jango Fett spaceships are confirmed. He also says, we have some space moments and we have moments of low atmosphere combat, both featuring the airships, which is exciting because you could mean we have something like in Battlefield 1, sorry, where there are both ground and air vehicles at the same time in the same map, which is something that I'm not sure if it was in a previous Battlefront. I could be wrong, but that is very exciting indeed. They also go on saying, what do you bring into the space battles to make it more than just flying around in circles above a Star Destroyer? Matt says that they'll go into that detail around the EA play, but it comes from taking care about and prioritizing feel and the fantasy of space combat and how we set up the different classes. Starfighters will have classes, and the situations by which we enable those battles will have much greater opportunity for those things not to happen. So we can expect something more than just the mode that we had in Battlefront 1, Fighter Squadron, definitely. And we can also expect different classes, even for Starfighters, which is very impressive. It means we could have something similar to Battlefield 1, where the bombers have different types of bombs, and the planes have different speeds and different abilities, which will make for interesting types of combat, and not just X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, boom boom, spam, I use my shield, I use my rockets, X-Wing wings. Basically, if you play Battlefront 1, you know what I mean. Lastly, I will finish the video off with something that a lot of people are probably gonna be thankful and happy about. you can unlock the deluxe edition gear just by playing the game normally. It was confirmed on Twitter by a developer, as you can see in this image. Will the weapons and content of the deluxe edition be exclusive to them? And then he says, no, they can be unlocked just by playing. So, bonus points to you, DICE. And yes, DICE, not EA. Alright, so that was pretty much everything I wanted to say in this video. This was just a continuation to my previous video, which is a bigger overview, which I will post the link in the description, of course, if you want to check it out yourself. And yeah, we probably won't be hearing any more news until the EA Play event or E3 itself. But in case we do, I will be here covering everything, or at least trying to. And yeah, have a good day, have a good night wherever you are, and remember, may the force be with you.